Okay, I'm going to give this a different shot today. Instead of using a dry erase board, I went ahead and mirrored this onto my TV screen so you can see what we're doing next for the new unit. Now, when you get the notes, it looks like there's quite a bit to read, but it's not so bad after all. If you take a look very carefully, for example, as I scroll through here, you're looking through the first definitions of, for example, horizontal translation. Please take a time and read it, okay? So, for example, in a horizontal translation, it's described as a graph that shifts left or right. How do we know a graph that shifts left or right? If we look at the function notation, it is read as f of x minus h. So we subtract h from inside the function. So to give you an example, let's take a look at g of x equal to the square root of x minus 2. Okay, or h of x is equal to the cube root of x minus 2. So what does that mean? The minus 2 means it moves 2 units to the right. Remember that the x always lies, right guys? Okay, and then the same thing, not the same thing, but the same type of horizontal translation is going to happen for g of x if square root of x plus 3 is actually going to be 3 units to the left. So you see here, the x plus 3 means 3 units to the left. The x minus 2, 2 units to the right. Okay? So just pay attention to that when you see it here. In the x minus 2, that's 2 units to the right. In the x plus 3, that's 3 units to the left. Okay? So that is how you should break that down. So when you read this, it makes it easier for you to understand. Don't get overwhelmed with it. It's just an explanation of what's going on. Okay, so here's all your explanations. Please read them carefully. And on the bottom here are some notes on the second page on what is going on for your next set of practice work. Okay, so for example, describe the transformation of f described by g. The graph, then graph each function. Okay, so in the solution here, notice that the function is of the form g of x is square root of x minus h plus k. Now, how do we know where it moves? Now remember, let's see here. Remember, the x minus 3, right here, x minus 3 means it moves 3 units to the right. Okay, so let me go ahead and move this thing up a little bit real quick. So it moves 3 units to the right. So if this is h equal to 3 from x minus 3, right here, so you're right here, then from the black graph you see here, it has moved 1, 2, 3 units to the right. Then it says plus 4 at the end of the equation. So guess what? We go from the origin and we move up 4 units. So I'm going to move 4 units, 0, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So this is where I start to graph my new equation g. Okay? F, as you notice, is the original function. F in this situation is called the parent function. Okay? So here, they will tell you what your parent function will be or your original function. Okay? In this case, in part B, f of x is your original function. In this case, it's the parent function because it has nothing attached to it. Unlike in g, it has negative 8 attached to the x. Okay? So you see here, how do we know that this graph is going to flip the opposite direction? So again, if you were to go to Desmos calculator, you can easily graph that function and see what it looks like. Okay, so if I want, let's see here, if I want to graph this function as I see it, oh boy, here we go. So if I want to graph this function, and let's say I do the square root of x, for example here, that's my function square root of x. Now in the next one, let's say I want to graph the square root. Let's see here. The square root of negative. I can't do that. Hold on. So if I want to graph, sorry, let's go back to the other equation. If I wanted to graph the square root of x minus 3, and then on the outside plus 4, see, there's my graph now. See that? So notice what's in red, what's in blue, it helps you distinguish it. So use the Desmos calculator to help you out with that. Okay? So going back to here, I go to my second page. Here are some example problems to work with. So you notice you got to match the function with the graph. So the graph's already made there for you. You're just going to match the graph to the function. So let's do number 3 real quick. Number 3 is f of x equal to the square root of x plus 3. Okay? So I'm going to take a look at this function right here. F of x is equal to x plus 3. So notice that these are all square root functions. So they're all going to look like these two blue functions, for example, that I have shown up here. So if it's x plus 3 inside the square root, it means I move to the left 3. So guess what? Now I start from the origin somewhere. So I start down here. My origin, can't seem to do this too well. My origin is here, okay? And notice this graph is moving 1, 2, 3 to the left. So this guy has moved negative 3, 3 units, 3, 2 left on this one. Now how do I know that this is the right one to pick? Again, I'm going to compare it to the original function. So match the graph of this function. These are all compared to the parent function. Okay, my parent function is, let's just call it parent function p of x is equal to the square root of x. So that's my original function. Okay, so go ahead, that's number 3. No, so number 3 is B. Okay, just to help you guys out, number 3 is B. So all you have to do is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to match up. Okay, hope that helped you out, guys.